Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be dedicated to learning about circles, some important vocabulary, and some important formulas that you'll need for the SAT and ACT. Alright, so let's dive right into it. The first two vocabulary words that I picked for this video is going to be the radius and the diameter of the circle, right? So that radius is going to be from the center of the circle to any edge of the circle. So like this length is a radius, this length from here to here could be a radius, from here to here. Anything from that center of the circle to an edge of the circle can be the length of the radius, right? All right, and the diameter is just going to be 2 times that radius. So an easy way to do it is just like this, a straight line across the entire circle. Again, you can do it really wherever you want as long as it hits that center of the circle. And it's the distance all the way from one edge to another edge through that center of the circle, right? So those are the two main vocabulary words that I want you to know for this video because they will feed into the two formulas that we have in this video, which is for circumference. And in case you don't know what the circumference is, it's the length of the perimeter of the circle and the area formula of the circle, right? So let's start off with circumference. The formula for this circumference is 2 pi r, and in this case, r is just that radius, right? And the area formula is going to be pi r squared, and same thing, r is the radius. Alright, so let's dive into some of the problems that you'll start to see on the SAT and ACT using these formulas and this vocabulary. Alright, so our first example is going to be, what is the area and circumference of a circle with a radius of 6? So you can just plug it into these formulas that I have right here. So the circumference is going to be 2 times pi times whatever that radius is. In this case, it would be 6. Alright, so it's 2 times pi times 6. That simplifies to 12 pi because 6 times 2 is 12, and then you multiply by pi. Sometimes it will have you leave it in this way with it unsimplified, just because that pi, it's a hard number to just kind of break down and have it simplified, so they usually leave it as just that pi. If you want to break it down even more, if they ask you to, you can always say as kind of an exaggerated number or just a simplified number, just so that you can type it into a calculator. If you don't have the pi button on your calculator, it's going to be 3.14. That's another estimated version of pi that you can use to calculate it. Alright, so then if you want to solve for that area, it's just pi times r squared. In this case, remember 6 is the radius, so it will just be 6 squared. So then it simplifies to 36 pi, just because 6 squared equals 36, and then you multiply by that pi. Remember, you can also write this as 3.14 as an estimated version. Most of the time they'll keep it in this pi form, but in case they ask you to estimate, 3.14 is the way to go with that. Alright, so the only other area that's kind of confusing is when they only ask you for part of the circle. And what I mean by that is, let's say they asked for the area of the circle, and they only wanted 1/6 of that circle. So let's say they just wanted this chunk right over here, 1/6 of that circle. All you would have to do, say they asked for 1/6 of the circumference and of the area, just multiply it by which sector of the circle, like how much they're talking about in the circle. So they asked for 1/6 of the circle, so that's just going to be that total circumference, which is 12 pi times 1/6, or divided by 6. That would just get you 2 pi, right? And for the area, it's basically the same thing. It's just 36 pi times 1/6, 1/6, sorry. and that's just going to get you 6. Alright, so that's just when they want a chunk of that circle. In this case, they wanted the area, which would be all of that in there, and the circumference is just that way, right there. Alright, so a quick recap on circles. We learned pretty much 4 words in this, 4 vocabulary words: radius, diameter, circumference, and area, and 2 formulas. 2 pi r is the circumference formula, and pi r squared is that area formula. Remember, the radius can go from the center of the circle to any edge of that circle. It doesn't matter where it goes. It just has to go from here to any side of the circle. You can go there, you can go anywhere. And that diameter, it's just a straight line across that circle, and it has to touch the center of the circle, right? Always remember that. It's not just a random line in the circle. It always has to go from one end to the other through that center of the circle right there. All right, and this is a common problem that you'll have, just to see if you really know the formulas. And once you plug it in, it's pretty easy. It's just kind of a memorization thing. All right, thank you guys for watching. I really hope this helped, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.